How to create a duplicate entity on SIFT. You may be wondering, why would you want to create a duplicate entity on SIFT? There are several reasons. For starters, you can create a duplicate entity to be able to report the same entity's information in more than one different currency without changing the currency in the entity setting each time you want to report. Another reason, you can change the accounting basis to cash or accrual for a duplicate entity without having to change the original entity's settings. Alternatively, you could create a duplicate to make minor tweaks to the data to meet management or compliance reporting requirements. Moreover, when working on consolidations, you could create a duplicate entity to cater for changes in shareholding of the entity over time. And you can even share duplicate entities with external organizations. Now, let's explore how we can duplicate an entity. Navigate to Home, Overview, where you will find a list of all the entities in your organization. We will explore two ways in which you can duplicate an entity. Firstly, you can select the three dots next to your entity which you would like to duplicate and select Duplicate Entity. You can change the name of your duplicate entity, the accounting basis like we discussed earlier, and the reporting currency. You can also copy any layouts that are set up in your original entity down to the duplicate entity, and then select Duplicate. As you can see, our duplicated entity will appear on the list, and it will also indicate that it is a duplicate entity. Another way to create a duplicate entity is to navigate to the Add Entity button, scroll down to SIFT, and then select Duplicate Entity. Now you have to select from the drop-down list an entity that you would like to duplicate. Once again, you can change the name, the accounting basis, and the reporting currency. And you can copy down any layouts from the original entity. Now select Copy Entity. Refer back to Home and Overview, and you may need to refresh your page for the entity to appear. Here you can see that I have my two duplicated entities, and they both indicate that these are duplicated entities. There are a couple of important things to note when you duplicate an entity. Firstly, you cannot create segments from duplicated entities, as you will see that there are no segments to create, whereas if I refer back to my original entity, there are several segments that I could have created. Another thing to note, if I open the original entity, I can refresh the data at any stage by selecting Refresh. However, when I open a duplicated entity, I will not be able to refresh the data, as this is only a duplicate of the original entity made at a point in time. Now that you know how to create your duplicate entities, you can go try it for yourself.